Why you're so tired after hanging out with people? You just got home from hanging out with friends. Good friends. People you actually like. And you're exhausted. Not normal tired. Completely drained. Like you just ran a marathon. You didn't do anything physical. You were just talking, laughing, being around people. But now you're lying on your couch feeling like you need 3 business days to recover. And you're asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? Let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with you. You just have a social battery, and it runs out faster than other people's. Today we're talking about why socializing drains you, what's actually happening in your brain, and why some people can party for 6 hours while you're tapping out after 2. Let's go. First, let's talk about what a social battery actually is. It's not laziness. It's not being antisocial. It's not you being dramatic. It's a real, measurable thing that happens in your brain and nervous system when you're around other people. Every social interaction you have requires energy, mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy. You're processing faces, voices, body language, tone, subtext, social cues. You're managing your own responses, your facial expressions, your words, your energy level, so you don't seem bored or too intense. You're reading the room, adjusting to the vibe, keeping track of who said what, making sure you're contributing, but not dominating. All of that, that's work. Real cognitive work. And for some people, that work is easy, automatic. They barely notice they're doing it. But for you, it's like running an operating system that takes up 80% of your CPU. And after a few hours, you're overheating. Now here's the part most people don't understand. This isn't about whether you like the people you're with. You can love someone deeply and still be drained after spending time with them. Because it's not about them. It's about your nervous system. When you're around people, your nervous system is on, alert, processing. Even when you're comfortable, even when you're having fun, it's still working. And some people's nervous systems can sustain that for hours. They recharge by being around people. Extroverts literally get energy from social interaction. But you're the opposite. Your nervous system uses energy when you're around people, and it recharges when you're alone. That's not a flaw. That's just how you're wired. Let's talk about what happens when you ignore your social battery. You say yes to everything. Dinner, drinks, brunch, another event. Back to back to back. And at first you're fine. You're functioning. You're showing up. But slowly, things start to break down. You get irritable, short-tempered. Everything annoys you. You start to feel numb, like you're going through the motions, but not actually present. You lose the ability to focus. Your brain feels foggy. Words don't come as easily. You feel anxious for no reason, or sad, or just off. That's what happens when you drain your social battery to 0 and keep going. You're running on empty, and your body is screaming at you to stop. And here's where people get it wrong. They think if you just push through, you'll build tolerance, like a muscle. But it doesn't work like that. You can't train yourself to become an extrovert. You can't force your nervous system to process social interaction differently. What you can do is learn your limits and actually respect them. Because here's the thing, if you know you can handle 2 hours of socializing before you start to crash, and you plan for that, you're fine. You show up, you're present, you enjoy yourself, and then you leave before you hit empty. But if you ignore that and stay for hours because you think you should, because everyone else is fine, because leaving early feels rude, you're going to pay for it. Not just that night, the next day, maybe the next 2 days. That's the recovery time. And it's real. So how do you actually manage this without becoming a hermit? First, stop apologizing for needing to leave. You don't owe anyone an explanation. I'm tired is a complete sentence. I need to go is enough. You're not being rude. You're protecting your energy. And anyone who makes you feel bad for that doesn't understand how your brain works. Second, schedule alone time after social events. If you know you're going out Friday night, don't plan anything for Saturday. Give yourself a full day to recover. Let yourself be alone. in silence, doing nothing. Not because you're lazy, because your nervous system needs it. Third, choose quality over quantity. You don't need to be at every event. You don't need to say yes to every invitation. Pick the ones that actually matter, the people you actually want to see, the experiences that are worth the energy cost, and let the rest go. Now let's talk about the guilt, because I know you feel it. You cancel plans and immediately feel bad, like you're letting people down, like you're a bad friend. But here's the truth. Showing up when you're drained doesn't make you a good friend. It makes you a resentful one. You're not fully present. You're counting down the minutes until you can leave. You're performing instead of connecting. And people can feel that, even if they don't say it. But when you show up with energy, when you're actually there because you want to be, that's when real connection happens. So stop forcing yourself to be somewhere when you're running on empty. It's not helping anyone. Here's what I need you to understand. Your social battery is not a weakness. It's information. It's your body telling you what it needs. And the people who matter will understand that. The people who get you won't make you feel bad for needing space. They'll adjust. They'll meet you for coffee instead of a 4-hour dinner. They'll understand when you leave early. They'll check in on you without expecting you to show up every time. Those are your people, the ones who respect your limits instead of pushing against them. Everyone else, they're not bad people. They're just not your people. So here's what you do. Starting now, pay attention to your social battery. Notice when it starts to drain. Notice what drains it faster. Big groups, loud environments, small talk, long events, and notice what drains it slower. One-on-one time, quiet settings, people who let you be yourself. Once you know your patterns, you can plan around them. You can structure your social life in a way that actually works for you instead of constantly fighting against yourself. And you can stop feeling guilty for being the way you are. You're not broken. You're not antisocial. You're not less than people who can socialize for hours without getting tired. You're just someone who needs alone time to recharge. And that's okay. The world is loud. People are a lot. And your nervous system knows that. So listen to it, respect it, protect it, and stop apologizing for needing to go home. If this made sense, if you finally feel understood, share it with someone who gets it. Because there's someone in your life right now forcing themselves to stay at an event they're drained from, and they need permission to leave. And if you want to know how to actually tell people you need space without ruining the relationship, that's the next video. How to set boundaries with people who don't understand your social battery. How to say no without feeling guilty. How to protect your energy without losing your people. You need this one.
Perfect. Alone and okay. Yeah, when and all.